You are here because the outside world rejects you.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
Come on, let's get nuts. This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made a funny. Come on, Peter Tingle. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What up?
Welcome to an almost all-new Nerds to Men, since it's technically take two, as we are going live for the second week in a row, which has been awesome, by the way, because we've had all kinds of people commenting, and it's nice to have that kind of interaction during the show. It's also nice to have Cameo's mic on, so welcome to the show, yes. Cameo. Welcome.
Take two. How's everybody doing?
Oh, man. Like I say, I mean, you know, come on, give me a break. I've got my whole studio that I built from scratch, and now
that's also true.
We're making it like go in like the fullest way possible, like trying to do it all like one take Jakes, you know what I mean? So I'm Brad Reed, Cameo. We're the Nerds to Men. We got
happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy
if you're
Sunday.
Watching Sunday, but if you're watching any other day, happy whatever day you're watching.
Whatever day. Yeah, because people watch on YouTube. They might watch other places where they, I don't know, do they black market our show? Is it that good?
I would think so.
I would think so too. Like in the post-pandemic world, you know, like there might not be money, you know what I mean? But people might trade like entertainment sources because, you know, they're stuck inside all day. And so they'll trade Nerds to Men like in non-fungible whatever.
That's going to be the new form of currency pretty soon.
The Nerds to Men. We're like, what do you think we're worth? What do you think?
Lot.
What do you think one show would go for in a world where there was no more entertainment?
Oh, man. I would have to say maybe $5.
$5, dang. You're offering those GameStop prices on trade-ins. I'm talking about,
right? You
know, the omnibus of the Nerds to Men. Probably like, you know, I want a couple thou at least.
I mean, you know, it probably would be, but yeah, you're probably right. I'd say probably a couple thou.
Yeah. You know what? I am glad that this is take two because I want to let everybody know something that I had almost forgot to mention. Did you know that this is the 5th year anniversary of the week that Batman versus Superman was released?
Oh, wow.
So do you know what else that means, Cameo?
That means we've been doing this for 5 years.
5 years, which seems like not a long time, but it also seems like we've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
Forever. I mean,
forever.
Like 5 years, really. I mean, that's, you know, a lot of people have tried podcasting and they've realized it's a lot of work or a lot of this, a lot of that. And they've come and gone, you know, because it's just one of those things where it seems like anybody can do it, and really anybody can as long as they want to mess with all of it, you know, and make it. You could do it like real lo-fi and all that, but I have a different expectation of what I think it should sound and look like, you know. I even wish that we could do more things like have multi-switching cameras and all of that, but maybe by year 10, you know what I mean, Cameo?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
What are you doing? Are you looking at the chat going on in our Nerds to Men page?
Yes, and sharing it.
Nice.
So
very nice.
Letting everybody know it's our 5-year anniversary.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Man, I can't believe it. That's so cool. I really, I mean, you know?
Yeah, I would love to, you know, be, you know, big time, like super big.
Yeah.
You know, one day we're going to have, let's say Ben Affleck join us from Zoom, you know, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Or like, you know, what'd be really cool. Like, I mean, that'd be cool to talk to Ben Affleck for sure. Even though on our Facebook page, there's a video of my son disrespecting Ben Affleck.
I know.
Oh, what was great about that video was I was so scared of what he was going to ask. I had no idea what he was going to ask, but I knew some of the test questions that I was like, please don't ask that. So Yeah. So check that out on our Facebook page. It was when the guys from Gotham, they were on a panel and my son went and asked them a question. But what were we talking about before that? Our 5-year anniversary. So
yep. Mm-hmm.
But that was actually when we went and did that, I feel like that was right when Deadpool came out. So that was early on before we got started, kind of.
Yeah.
That was crazy because I actually went to that fan expo and I was like, man, we could have a podcast where we got stuff to talk about for at least 5 years. So
at least, and we have.
Hopefully we do it for, at least get to 10. And maybe by 10, when we celebrate our 10-year anniversary, we'll be big balling, all kinds
Shot
of money.
calling.
Yeah, and then somebody else will be producing the show.
Yeah.
It won't just be me.
Right.
Live, anyways. That way we can pay attention and be very, engaged. Right. Which we are. I'm kidding. So, but Ben Affleck, I was thinking about getting some people, because basically our 5-year anniversary goes through the end of March, right? We're not done with March.
True.
So next week for the show, I think I'll try to get some, how they got the cameos? Not you, but people are online now where you buy them and they give you a message, $50 or however much, depending on who it is exactly. So I'm going to pay to get some people congratulating us for our
that'd be dope.
Our 5-year anniversary, or I might just deep fake them. But look for it on the show next week. Either way,
sounds good to me.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. So that's what's up now, Cameo. We were about to talk about this when I realized that our audience could only hear me, and you. This was really about you because, again. If people are retuning in, hopefully this is new to you for the first time. So here it goes. There was this Facebook post about what you would be if you had, right now, if you had gone after your childhood dreams. And mine, I've done a lot of mine, which is great. Yeah. I'm really, that's one thing I don't regret is trying to, have the radio career, which I did for a long time. And then the band, I played some shows at the Diamond. I got to go on tour with some bands, and see how that life was. And it was just a lot of fun and a lot of realizing some childhood dreams for sure, and I still have more that I'm working on. But you also, I would think if somebody asked you what was your childhood dream, dancer, podcaster. No, nobody knew what a podcast was then, but but that wasn't yours, was it?
No, it wasn't. Because I didn't realize this, growing up.
Right.
But anyway, you remember the Muppet Baby show?
Yeah, I do remember. Okay. Yeah. I used to love that show.
Yeah. So anyway, we were, when I was young and, watching the Muppet Baby show at my grandmother's house. And, I remember it was one of the episodes on what did you want to be when you grow up? I think Animal wanted to be, a musician, so because he played the drums.
Yeah.
Miss Piggy wanted to be I think a superstar or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And Fozzie Bear wanted to be a comedian, all that. Well, it got to Kermit, and baby Kermit wanted to be a taxi driver.
Okay.
And let me tell you why I wanted to be a taxi driver.
Yeah.
One, I liked Kermit. Kermit was my favorite Muppet Baby.
Okay. Kermit was the man, is the man still.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he took an astronaut to the moon. Okay. So in his taxi car, he took an astronaut to the moon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And so
it makes more sense now that you
whenever
thought
the
that
astronaut
you could go to the moon.
Right. Astronaut came out of the once he got out of the car, he dropped $1 billion in his back seat. And he was like, "Oh, thanks for taking me to the moon."
Dang.
And so
what kind of unrealistic expectations are they teaching these kids?
I don't know. So I was like, "Ooh, that's a lot of money. I want to be a taxi driver."
Okay.
Not an astronaut who dropped off the money.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Because if he has that kind of money to spend on a taxi ride, hopefully he's got the Jay-Z rule, which if you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it.
Right.
So
So yeah, I wanted to be a taxi driver.
Okay. So that makes more sense now as to why that would be your childhood dream, because I was sitting there like, okay, well, like you could Uber. You could,
right?
like, if you really want to fulfill your dream.
Did you want to be Danny DeVito in Taxi? Like, what?
Well, yeah. Did you watch that? Did you watch that show?
Yes, I did.
I never really got into that as a kid.
I didn't watch it like religiously or anything. I saw a few episodes, but I did watch it a little bit here and there.
That's funny. So
yeah, I wanted to be a taxi driver.
There you go. Well, like I say, Cameo, throw out your cell phone number and people can call you and you can go give them a ride or whatever.
All right. That's 405 555.
Oh no.
1234.
No, that's not it. What was the old back in the day? 599-1234. That was where you called to get the time and temp.
Yep. I remember that.
I used to call that number all the time, bored as hell.
Right? Just somebody to talk to.
Tell me the time and the temp at least. Thank you. All right.
Right.
Or if you were like, trying to look like you were doing something, like, hold on. I'm on the phone. Sorry. Ryan Sheehan, thank you for tuning in. Jennifer Gilpatrick Reed, thank you for tuning in. That's the first time ever, I think. I
think I know her.
I think so.
Who is she?
I met her once or twice. Like I say, I think it's the first time ever that she's tuned in, so that's cool. That's cool. Hey, Jen, I'll tell you, if you want to get more of the Nerds to Men podcast in your life and more money in your life maybe, then go to patreon.com/dopepods and sign up for our subscription. Lori Frisk, hi. She said that number is still good. So patreon.com/dopepods, you sign up for $1 a month and you get all of our shows ad free. So, if you're listening this later on, like I listen to a lot of podcasts in my car, and if I'm listening on Apple, whatever, they just throw in commercials kind of like whenever they decide. Yeah, on their schedule. So I need to really pinpoint it down. So maybe we could be like, hey, we'll pause for a second and come right back. But that doesn't really help during our Facebook live show either. So
right.
So they just throw it in there and that's that. You just gotta kind of live with it because it costs us money to do all this. But like I say, for $1 a month on patreon.com/dopepods, you will get all of it ad free. And then we'll also throw in some more deals. We got some t-shirts coming. We got some other stuff we're working on. So I think that's a pretty good deal. Cameo. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Do you listen to other podcasts a lot?
Not so much. There's this I forgot what it was called. I think it talks about serial killers. I've listened to that one a couple times. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh yeah.
But I've listened to a few pods from Joe Rogan. A couple podcasts from what's his name? Oh my goodness, Kevin Smith.
Yeah, Kevin Smith. I listened to Kevin Smith, but I kind of quit listening as much because sometimes when we do our podcasts and, he's of course going to be talking about the same stuff, I don't want to feel like I'm repeating Kevin Smith or, you know what I mean? Or something like that. So I try to listen to him maybe more after we've done our podcasts. I listen to Mark Maron a lot. He does a lot of celebrity interviews. I listen to one. I don't love their politics on it, but they're not too heavy-handed about it. But it's called Tinfoil Hat, and it's about conspiracy theories and stuff. And some of it's pretty good. Some of it's garbage. It just depends on who's the guest. You know what I mean? And then I listen to some a wrestling podcast by a guy who used to be on WWF and all that, called Jim Cornette, and he says a lot of crazy stuff too. But I don't know. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. We're kind of, again, talking about our 5-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. What doesn't really happen anymore? People don't say, well, what's a podcast?
Yeah.
I used to get that all the time. What's a podcast? Where do I find that? And now it's more of like it's more common, I feel like, and I that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we're still the top podcast out of Nakoma Park, Oklahoma.
I'm down with that.
Every week, we're number one with a bullet at NakomaParkDaily.com. I wish they'd get their website up so they could fully celebrate our number oneness, but it's still down. But I told them I'd give them a shout out. I got to give another shout out. I've been meaning to do this for a little bit. A guy that I know, Chad, he's got these great edibles that you can get at dispensaries called Wilma Wonka. He's got
Wonka, I like that.
Yeah, like chocolate bars, vanilla bars, strawberry bars, maybe not the vanilla one, but he's got a few of them, right? And like these like they're called hash tabs or hash caps. He gave me one of the bars to try, like the chocolate bars, and I was like,
delicious.
Yeah, because like it's through our license, so I can sample it without getting in trouble. But I sampled it, and he was like, because I'm like, man, I'm a heavyweight on that kind of thing. It doesn't really get me like it would get other people. This one knocked me out. I was like, whew, wow, that's a lot. So for those of you who are looking for something to help you with your pain and stuff like that, helping you to sleep, there's a lot of reasons people use it, you know what I mean? But this one, it does its work. So I might even recommend breaking that up and enjoying it over a few different, times.
Days.
Yeah. But Wilma Wonka.
I like that name.
Yeah. So check it out. All right, Cameo, we got to get into, actually, we probably need to do some nerd updates, right?
Okay.
It's nerd update time. So we will talk about, first of all, the Spider-Man. It's not Far From Home. What's the new one? No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah. So the new Spider-Man movie has officially wrapped. It's been made official over the last few days. And, we've been talking about this for, I don't know, a while now, because even for a minute we thought it had been wrapped up. But there's been all the rumors about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And even just a few days ago, they were saying that Andrew Garfield's stunt double was on the set. And so that had to mean he's in the next, he's in this movie. And then I think somebody else said, well, maybe I think that they used the same stunt double or whatever, so. And then this, I think, was verified, but I don't think it means anything. They, part of the wrap thing is they give everybody like a goodie bag of, licensed merch and stuff. And so one of the shirts had Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man suit on it.
Oh, that's cool.
So does that mean anything to you? What do you think?
I think that, them saying, oh, they're not in it. Basically to be like, they're right, but we're going to tell them that they're wrong so they can come up with other theories or other ideas. But I kind of feel like it's like what do you call it? A scapegoat or no, a smoke screen.
Yeah, a smoke screen.
A smoke screen.
Or a swerve, like they're setting you up for one thing.
Right. And then when all actuality, the smoke has already been cleared and we're getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this new film.
So you really think that's happening?
I think so. I feel like it is.
I
could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
So. I hope so. I mean, you know how I am. I just really want to know what's going to happen with Spider-Man, By the way, I just noticed I have one Spider-Man here on the set and one Spider-Man here, and they're both yours. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they
are. How many Spider-Men do you have?
I have quite a bit.
Because you have, if people are listening, I've got two on mine, and you're at your house, so you've got one on your mic.
I'm a mic.
Yeah. So
that's good. Want to give a shout out to Leah, just joined in on the show.
What up?
But But yeah, I have a lot of Spider-Man. I have some that are still in boxes. I have some that's on my shelf.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send you a picture, and when you do the edited show, you can see all the Spider-Man that I have.
Yeah, do that. I'll put that up there. So maybe the people who are like, why do I need to see the Bradley cut? After they watch the Facebook Live, I'll be like, well, here's why. You get to see this
other
one
stuff.
picture.
That one picture.
The one picture. And that's
of all my Spider-Man.
And it will be in slow motion. And black and white. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Which we'll talk about later. So you think that's happening? I'm not so sure, man. Like, I think to have both of them, and we have seen where obviously, you know, like with the Luke Skywalker thing and stuff like that, they can keep it a secret if they want to, but that's two different people. Although,
we'll see. Also, too, real quick, not to jump ahead, but with the Zack Snyder cut, there was rumors that Aquaman was going to die.
Right.
And we did see that in one of those cut scenes. So, it could be, it could may well happen. Like I think, and like you think, it could not happen. But I guess we'll see.
I mean, I like those odds, I guess.
50-50, baby.
It could happen or it might not. I don't know. I'm not. I don't even know why I'm here. I'm Mr. TMZ. I'm supposed to be talking about Beyonce.
Right.
By the way, did you watch Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
Put six
I didn't
ice
watch all of
cubes
it,
on
but
my
I
head.
did see that one.
So good.
6 ice cubes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. When does it come out? It's September, right?
No.
That's
December
Venom.
17th.
Venom is in September.
December 17th, I think it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. December. So that's actually cool though. We get Venom in September, the Carnage and Venom movie, and then right on the heels of that in December, we get Spider-Man.
Yep.
So, well, I don't know. If it's that big of a secret. Still, after all these people bringing it up and investigating it and blah, 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 like the Luke Skywalker thing was a little more unexpected, really. You didn't really hear any rumors of that.
Yeah, because you did hear that somebody was going to be there to save him.
Sure. Yeah.
Everybody was saying Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Everybody said who they thought Obi-Wan, but he was already dead. I forgot who else they were saying, but yeah.
Right on. Well, let's discuss, before we get to some of our other stuff in the show, let's discuss the Suicide Squad trailer real quick. We're not going to show it on here because usually if you do, they kind of limit who you can show this kind of thing to. So, but if you haven't seen it, then pause this or whatever and go watch it on YouTube, because I will say the Suicide Squad, if it's not everything that I'm hoping it will be, I'm going to be so disappointed, because James Gunn, obviously you can see throughout this trailer, like his trademark on it, the music, the gore. I mean, the
King Shark,
the adult jokes,
demolished.
King Shark was awesome. And here's the thing, like the Flash, right? When I'm watching the Flash on WB, usually when the King Shark is on there, I'm not impressed, right? Well, this King Shark reminded me more of like the Ron Funches King Shark, which they said was just a coincidence, actually, because they had worked on them at different times. But that, because that King Shark was also like very gory, and just kind of
right.
And so I really like that portrayal of King Shark. I think Rick Flag looks a little cooler in this movie. I don't know why.
But real quick, back to King Shark.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't realize he was being voiced by Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone.
I did not know that.
That's pretty awesome. Pretty
cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and then who else stood out? Oh, John Cena. John
Cena is amazing.
Okay. Like, you used to watch WWF, right? WWE, right?
I kind of stopped when Hey, when did I stop? I can't remember the last time I watched an episode, and I think it was like Monday Night Raw.
Right. But I would imagine it was during the Cena era, right?
No, it was. I didn't, because I think Cena era. Sorry, the Cena era was when I think it was like my high school, end of high school, beginning of college.
Yeah.
And I didn't really care for wrestling then.
Right.
But the cool thing is, I did meet John Cena at the state fair.
Really?
We were doing the radio station. We were doing something. I forgot what it was. I think it was like a rock, paper, scissors contest.
Yeah.
And John Cena was the guy that you had to beat. But this was, at his beginning phase. But people that watch wrestling knew him.
Was I there?
But me,
was I? I was there.
You weren't there when I was. Maybe you came like at a different time or something, but you weren't there when I was.
I remember. I think I remember John Cena being there though, and because I wasn't up there like doing promotions, but I was down. I was helping out because I always had to help out at that thing every year at the fair, no matter what it was, and it was always like somehow it was like I was doing it for free, volunteering because somebody had asked me to, but then the promotions department would be like, "Well, this is your deal, Brad. You're running it." I'm like, "No, I'm really not." So I'm leaving.
But yeah, John Cena, when you met him in person and see how he acts, like on movies and stuff, it's the same person.
Yeah.
Like John Cena is John Cena on screen and off screen.
Yeah. I think
so, but yeah,
that's funny. Well, here's the thing. Like I wasn't a big fan of wrestling during the John Cena era either, but I knew who he was, and I really didn't like. I thought he was kind of lame, like with he kind of had like he was trying to be like a Mark Wahlberg ripoff, like a Marky Mark, white rapper wannabe kind of guy, and then he was like
wearing jorts,
and then he was the Marine type guy after he was in that movie, but. Like some of his movies lately, like as an actor, and especially like more of a comedic kind of actor, I've kind of had more respect for John Cena in that regard. Yeah. But you actually met him there, man. I don't know. I think at that time I probably was disinterested. I was like, whatever.
And I didn't get a picture with him or anything like that because again, I thought he was going to be like one of those like. I forget their names that were wrestling before him, but I thought he was going to be one of those douchebags.
Yeah,
that you didn't really care for. So I was like, I don't want to get a picture with him. But yeah, he was pretty cool though.
The only other wrestler I ever met like through the radio station wasn't like he's not like that big, but Jack Swagger. Okay, he used to be WDE. I think he wrestled at OU and he played football for maybe one season at OU. But now he's Jake Hager or something because he after he was Jack Swagger in the WWE, he was doing like UFC and all that, and then now he's back in like AEW with Chris Jericho and all those dudes. So I got the wrestling shirt on, so we could at least mention it.
Yeah.
But back to John Cena, his character looks like he's going to be a lot of fun. And then a lot of other people like Polka Dot Man is in this one. Yeah. Pete Davidson, what was his character's name?
Blackguard.
Blackguard, yeah. And, Idris Elba. He's going to be like Deadshot's character where he's kind of like the more serious, the leader, the true leader, but the badass.
Right.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I'm excited for this movie, especially after watching the trailer.
Yeah,
it's just like you said. This is a James Gunn movie.
Yeah. Brainiac
like through and through.
He looks cool in this movie. And like that scene where they're telling him, if he doesn't tell them what they want, then they're gonna kill him or whatever. It's so funny. There was so many funny parts that. Like everybody's talking about because we finally got the Snyder cut. Everybody wants the air cut of the original Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I don't think anybody wants that.
I do. I really do. Because, the story about that is, and I knew it like, I knew it as it unfolded, but he had his version of the movie. Then they came in and made him cut a bunch of it. And then when it came to editing, they used the people that had made that trailer because the trailer was so cool, but he didn't make that trailer. It was a different company. And so they were like, hey, well, you made it look real jazzy. So let's have you edit Air's movie. And I'm like, why don't you just get somebody, a no-name director to direct these movies then, if you don't want them to put their stamp, their art on it, or somebody who maybe not a no-name, but somebody who just is just grateful for the chance and will let you tell them what they need to do. Whereas you've got David Ayer, you've got Zack Snyder, and, David Ayer, I don't know. I guess I'd have a hard time calling him as an auteur. I mean, he definitely has his style, but it's, it's in like these action type movies, but they have great stories, Training Day. What was the movie with Will Smith and basically the aliens or the orcas or whatever remember it was on Netflix, came out a couple of Christmases ago.
Bright.
Yes, that was a David Ayer movie. So, and he's done other, I think, what was the tank movie? There was like one where they were in a tank, like I think Brad Pitt and all these guys were in it. It was a great movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, and then he's whiffed on some, like that latest one with Shia LaBeouf. I didn't think it was great at all. I thought it was okay. But so anyway, like some Joker stuff that got cut and all that. I really think that I would like to see the Ayer cut, but
you're right, because WB has screwed up a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Like with Wonder Woman, the first one and supposedly the second one.
Right.
So, it would be nice to let WB step back and stop trying to control everything. Now I know they're trying to pander to everybody. They're trying to do what Disney and Marvel is doing. And again, that it's just DC is not like Marvel.
Right.
You can't. It's like comparing apples to oranges.
Yeah. You're right.
You have a Marvel side, you have a DC side. So and I think that's why WB is screwing things up for DC movies, is because they're trying to compare apples to apples when it's really apples to oranges.
Well, and I think that there's a lot of, they want it to be accessible for families or whatnot, or this or that, they want it to be like Marvel, like you're talking about. And really it should be, because like I read some Marvel comics. I prefer DC comics, but there's things that I think DC does incredibly well, and there's things I think Marvel does well. And, I'm down for either. I'm sure that there's probably more people that are like that than that are just like, no, I'm only going to read one or the other or be a fan of one or the other, And the DC's thing is like, I've always found it to be a little more edgier. And so the Suicide Squad, that's right up my alley. The Zack Snyder verse is right up my alley. The Marvel stuff, there's still good stuff. And even like, the Winter Soldier movie was edgy, I thought. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a little more for kids, in my opinion. And I'm not saying only. I'm just saying I don't see my kids enjoying the Snyder cut at all. Not until they get older.
Right. And I would say, Spider-Man and Batman, two different characters.
Right.
Two different ways of showing, justice.
Right.
Spider-Man shows his justice in, he beats up on his people, but not really battered and bruised.
Right.
Like Batman does.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's not going to break your neck.
Yeah.
If you don't tell him who, whatever.
Right.
But Batman will. So, it's like you can't have a Batman movie with a Spider-Man feel to it.
Yeah.
And that's what Joss Whedon did to Justice League.
So that picture that I posted on our social media, I'm not sure that everybody got the context of it, because it's a story that I thought was pretty well known, but like you didn't know it, my wife didn't know. I'm not sure. I think I mentioned it to my buddy Provo, and he wasn't familiar. But there was a picture of Jesus, like an old painting, right?
Mhm.
And then next to it was a painting that looked like a child had done it, like their version of the painting. Well,
Yeah.
and I was saying that was Snyder cut versus Joss Whedon cut. But the thing about that was, so that the original Jesus painting, they had hired somebody like an amateur to come in and touch it up. And that's what they did to it. So then they had to spend like, I think probably $1 million or so to have somebody fix what that guy did. And by that point, I mean, it's not even the same painting anymore, right?
Right.
So, so there's the context for that. Cause I was like, that perfectly describes, and I'll put a picture of it out on the edited version, but that perfectly describes to me the difference between the Snyder cut and the Whedon cut. In fact, Cameo, let's just call a quick audible here, and we're going to talk about the restoring of the Snyderverse. Okay. Because I wanted to talk about that because all week long, everybody after this, first of all, the Snyder cut, I think came in only second to Wonder Woman 84 in total streams on HBO Max. And a lot of people were like, well, Wonder Woman came out on Christmas Day. It was like a big deal. And then there's probably a lot of people who are like, well, I've seen the Justice League already. I don't need to see that. Which, if you feel that way, I encourage you still go see it. But then all week long, everybody on Twitter, at least, and social media were like, hashtagging restore the Snyderverse. And I think it got like 1 million tweets and stuff. 1 million hashtag tweets, and still nothing really from Warner Brothers as far as because basically the Flash movie's still happening. It sounds like it's a crap show. I'll just say that from what I keep hearing about it, people coming and going. Then they'll want to do another Wonder Woman. There's another Aquaman on the But what they're wanting is for Zack Snyder to take over all those. And I kind of like that because, I mean, we wouldn't have Wonder Woman, The Flash, or Aquaman, the people that are cast in those current positions, if it weren't for Zack Snyder, right? Because, I mean, it all started with Man of Steel with Henry Cavill and then Batman versus Superman, where they started introducing the Justice League. So, and then they got their spin-off movies. And some people have liked those. I didn't really enjoy Aquaman or the 2 Wonder Woman movies. And maybe, and to that other point, in the Snyder cut, I really enjoyed Wonder Woman and Aquaman in that movie. Like I liked them a lot better with his portrayal of them and all of that. And then we'll talk about like his take on Batman here in a minute, but I want to see, because apparently, what we saw was the nightmare sequence. And what we also saw was Lex Luthor and Deathstroke teaming up, basically, which it was weird because he gives them the identity of Batman, who's Bruce Wayne. But then later on in Nightmare, it's like he already knows that. So I don't know what happens in between there, but neither of them kill each other, so there's that.
Right.
So, but again, that was all going to be fleshed out in, like, I think the next 2 Justice League movies. It would have been the trilogy of the Justice League movies. So, after seeing the 4 hours of the Snyder cut, do you feel like you really need to see 2 more movies? Or do you feel, are you set? Are you good?
I want to see more of Zack Snyder stuff.
Me too.
The way that he portrayed all of the characters on there. Granted, we weren't supposed to get a Flash movie before this. We weren't supposed to get a Cyborg movie before this movie. So him giving them more love and more of a kind of a backstory, was great. I said that on the last show too. Seeing more of Cyborg was awesome.
Yeah.
And Aquaman wasn't. He had funny moments in the Snyder cut, but I felt like he was Joss Whedon tried to make him too funny.
Yeah.
In his version. And I like that, you know, Snyder had a good balance.
Yeah, it's more subtle
in there.
Subtle humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, I would love to see more of Snyder's stuff. I would love to see more of his vision in other movies. Maybe he teams up with, I forgot who did Wonder Woman.
Patty Jenkins. Yeah, because
Patty Jenkins, yeah.
People have been saying that they want him to direct the next one. And here's the thing, like I want Patty Jenkins to work.
Mm-hmm.
I just think maybe Zack Snyder should write the next one and let her direct.
Right. That's what I think.
Oh, so you think that a woman can't write and direct, Cameo? Man,
I never said that.
That's what you just said, Cameo.
No,
you are a misogynist.
The reason why
you win the title of misogynist this week.
No,
that's exactly what you just said. You just said it. You said let the man come in and mansplain to her what Wonder Woman should do. That's what
you can't put that on me, Brad. You can't put that on me. No. No, but for real though, on a serious note, yeah, I think he should write it
because it's his vision. It's his vision.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, you know, the creators of the actual characters,
right?
You know, you have that, but you have other people that write the stories.
Yes.
So, and then you have, you know, people that end up making the movies. You know, you have the director for that. So that's what I think this should be like. You know, this is his. These are his character or his story. Other people's characters. I'm gonna let somebody else direct the movie. And with how well this movie has done and the great feedback it's getting, why wouldn't you have him do it?
But you know, if he's going to do that though, they can't go in and just keep messing it up after though and say, well, let's cut it down to 2 hours and then make sure that, you know, it does this, this, and this. And they did that to him. They did that to Patty Jenkins. She admitted in the first movie. Now the second movie, she acted like she had a little more say so in it. So that's on her, but
right.
But again, you know, within his vision and probably with him producing it, you know, so he has the say to kind of, you know, make whatever. If she thinks she wants to do this, at least he's going to be there to hear it out and, you know, give his advice or whatever. You know, I don't know how I would hope that, again, he's the Ford of Westworld, basically, you know?
Yeah.
So they can't keep second guessing him. And if they are, then, but
it's
you
just
know,
like, why even do the movies if you're going to second guess the creator of it?
Right.
You know?
Right. And I feel like the WB, because, and we're talking about the movie studio, of course, you know, it's all under the same umbrella owned by AT&T, I think, which that should tell you all you need to know. Cause hopefully there's no AT&T ads running, but
watch, they're going to be nothing but AT&T ads running.
Oh my God. At least their internet service is crap. So, and if, you know, but if that's indicative of how they run their movie studio, because they keep second guessing the guy who has the vision that the fans want to see and then putting out stuff that the fans are like, what is this? And so I think that there's part of them that is so, I don't know, just, I guess, prideful that they don't want to admit that. And so they're like, no, we still did what made the most money or whatever. So we're not going to greenlight the Snyderverse.
Yeah. And I forgot who wrote, or not who wrote, but who said it. I did post a story on our Facebook page, but yeah, basically somebody at the head of WB said that they're not going to, you know, release anything like that because they're going to, you know, save it for the shows and on HBO and other different movies and video games. That's not what we want.
Right.
And I know you can't pander to the fans. I know you can't, because
you should.
If you do, right.
I mean, generally, not, you know, generally though. Give us what we want.
Exactly. So, I mean, I know you can't, you know, because there's always going to be somebody that says, yeah, I want this. And then go back, yeah, you shouldn't have done it that way.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be criticism, and I understand that. But like you said, generally speaking, you should listen to what people like and then base it off of that, not be like, okay, we hear what you're saying, but this is what we're going to do.
Well, somebody in the HBO Max department needs to go, if you ain't, we will. And we're going to show you that this is going to be insanely popular because we need a cyborg show or, buddy them up. Do like what they're doing with Disney Plus. I mean, this is something you can copy and I think get away with. The Flash and Cyborg. That'd be a great.
Would love it.
Yeah, that'd be great. They were going to try to do that in the movie. Now they're not. Let's do it in HBO Max. The Nightmare. The Nightmare. Everybody wants to know how that's going to go, Martian Manhunter. I'd love to see Superman and him in like more of a Snyderverse. And if you want to see that, you can go watch Supergirl, but I wasn't a big fan of Supergirl. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I even think Aquaman. I might think Wonder Woman. They might. I don't know. She's in there, but she still does good with all the films. So she out of all the ones that they've made, aside from the Snyderverse, a lot of people did enjoy the Wonder Woman movies. I wasn't one of them, but
yeah.
So,
unless you
Max,
want fans to look like Superman, then WB, you need to start listening.
Angry. So HBO Max is the way I think it is going to go, hopefully. And but I do want to ask you this, a couple more things before we get on to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So in the Snyder cut, we did have the nightmare sequence, and there was the scene where Batman curses at the Joker and tells him he is make no mistake, I am going to kill you at some point. Now this is a Joker who has killed Dick Grayson, not Jason Todd, but Dick Grayson. Lots of things have happened, and you can see that Batman's just, he's in a world that is no fun. It's the end of the world. So maybe you get a different version of Batman there, but Dan Slott, you're familiar with Dan Slott, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you got the guy that he's well known for right in front of you, but he has written Batman too. And did Jerry Bennett tell me the Inhumans? Maybe. I think, but I can't remember now. I spoke to Jerry the other day, by the way, and he says, hi, you're not going to be a villain in this comic book, but get over it. But anyway,
I hate him. No, I'm joking.
So Dan Slott's been on Twitter talking about this movie and Zack Snyder's version of Batman, which a lot of people say isn't their version of Batman because he's done some things that obviously somebody probably didn't live through. I don't think they've shown him just out and out kill somebody, but you can pretty much guess that somebody doesn't live through some of the car crashes or different things that happen.
Yeah.
Dan Slott says that Batman would not cuss because basically he's so calculated that cussing would show a weakness. He would show to the Joker that he had basically acted on his emotion instead of acting on his, detective instincts and all of that, right? And that he obviously wouldn't kill. He just never would do that. But basically, a lot of people have, been arguing with him because, again, this is Snyder's version. Dan Slott has his own version, and that's Batman to him. But I kind of agree with him, like, on his point. Like, when Batman says, make no mistake, I am going to effing kill you. Yes, he's intimidating the Joker. And the Joker even is like, he looks at him and then he's like, got me. Like, like, you almost got me. Like, that's not you, But it does kind of mean that the Joker was right all along, that like one bad day can turn you into the Joker or somebody like that. And so I'm not sure that the Batman that I believe him to be would curse and say that either. Any thoughts?
I say this. I say you're right. But also I say that with this going on, the nightmare, him killing Dick Grayson, I feel like
Lois Lane has been killed at this point as well, and probably Batman to blame somehow.
Right. So with all these people dying, and you kind of see that they were trying to one up each other during this whole deal. Now I'm not a huge Batman fan to know what he would and would not do, but making him more human, I could see him doing it.
Yeah.
I can see him cursing him out because one, he already talked about the first boy wonder.
Yeah.
Two, he's saying, you're killing all these people, or Joker saying you're killing all these people because you don't have the balls to do it.
To kill yourself, right? Isn't that what he said? Or let yourself die?
Yeah. So I feel like, Dan Slott and you are correct in the way that Batman wouldn't do it. He is calculated, but Batman also is, to me, Batman's going to do something. It.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he's calculated. He knows from Jump Street what's going to happen, what it's going to happen.
Right. Like he's the ultimate chess player.
Right. But also too, Joker is an extension of Batman's personality. So I would think that, yes, he can be uncalculated. He can be spontaneous. And I think that's what he was trying to tell Joker. Like, look, yeah, you're right. I probably won't kill you, but don't push me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you said, just one bad day and just one little slip up, Joker might be like, Bruce, I slapped your mama. Boom.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Yeah.
So
because you're right, Batman is human after all. So to say that he would never do that, no, you're right about that. But I do think that like maybe Batman might be competitive enough that he wouldn't want to give Joker that unless he was just really going to kill him, and then that's different. If he was, he wouldn't say it; he'd just do it. But other people have said if Batman was the type of person that would kill somebody, even under any circumstance, then why is the Joker still alive?
True.
It is kind of an enigma there.
Yeah. So, but also too,
an Edward
I look at it, huh?
The Riddler.
But also too, I was thinking that, everybody complains that Superman is a Boy Scout, but he ends up killing millions of people now. So,
yeah.
I mean, it just depends on how far somebody is going to push you for you to jump off that ledge and go off on the deep end.
Right. That's interesting. I like I said, I'm a fan of Snyderverse. I'm a fan of everybody's interpretation of Batman. I think there's room for it. There's all kinds of room for everybody, like we talked about last week. If you don't like this one, then pick up a pen and write, or a computer or iPad or whatever, and write your version, because I'll read it.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging you. I'm not saying that as to be a jerk, but anyhow, let's see. So I wanted before we get off the Snyderverse, the WB I think also said that going forward they are wanting Robert Pattinson to be the Batman of the movies. So if that's the case, then I mean, that movie could come along and make us forget all about the Snyderverse. It could be the future, and that's okay. That's okay too. If it's that good, I'm going to give it the chance. I'm already excited about it, but I would just like to see this, how it's all going to work out. I mean, we got a lot of ideas. Zack Snyder's kind of put it out there, but I still want to see it. I think a lot of people do,
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and move on to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 2 on Disney Plus. Yes, that was the, if you're watching on Facebook, the end of episode 1 introduced us to a new Captain America.
John Walker.
Yeah, and so first I want to say, as a segue from Snyderverse to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, based off of people I've talked to, this is the more accessible nerd thing to watch right now. Like everybody, whether you're really a nerd or not, you know, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is like the whole family. It is a little bit, you know, the fight scenes and stuff are a little more adult oriented, but it's not, to me, it's not like my buddies that don't read comic books will watch this, and they are. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So just for anybody watching, if you're like, you know, I'm not sure, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's like a good action show every week.
Yeah.
So far. So the action continues in this one. Bucky and Sam are together at last.
Mm-hmm.
Which, man, you know, there's been a lot of people who, you know, fan fiction or whatever would like to see those two guys like in more of a friendship role, like more than friends.
Yeah.
And this show seems like they are also kind of pushing that a little bit. Like you know, if you move to the side, yeah. Can you see? Well, yeah. So for those watching, for those listening, it's a picture of Sam and Bucky after the psychologist or whoever she is calls them in to discuss. Where did Cameo go?
Oh, sorry, it's not working. There we go.
Oh yeah. Calls them in to discuss their differences because, you know, Bucky's mad that Sam gave away the shield. Real mad. Yeah. And so she has them like interlocking legs as they have to sit there and talk to each other, and neither of them are really like into like doing that as an exercise. So
right.
It was pretty funny. And then there's another scene like where they are Sam has to rescue Winter Soldier, and like they're tumbling down the hill and like they land on each other, and it was, you know, like a little awkward moment too. Like, so do you think that they're gonna end up like making them? No, you think that's just a cheeky, okay. Because you know there was the tension between those guys throughout the movies too, and so you know that's how that came up. But I always thought it was more like a comedic kind of tension. Yeah. So
I agree with you on that.
So you don't think that that's where they're gonna head with that? Because
neither
of them are really like, neither of them like. Well, I mean, not that it really matters, but like, because I was gonna say neither of them have girlfriends or like have had any kind of romantic encounters. But when Sam first sees Black Widow, yeah, he's like, how you doing?
right.
It was subtle, you know. It wasn't like he wasn't like hitting on her, but it was just that cool kind of like, hey girl.
I see you.
But I mean, he could go both ways. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't know that they'll ever get to that. I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So, but the story is basically, because we were wondering who the villains were. And, you know, we kind of got an idea of them in the first episode, but we get them more fleshed out here, which one of them's a redhead. And, you know, I like redheads. So I don't know. I don't think she can be too villainous. You know what I mean?
Get out.
I might be on the other side.
You do see some of the shots that she doesn't seem like she's villainous at all.
No.
So I think she is trying to do something for the right, you know, what her cause is. You know, she's trying to do right by her cause.
Well, they want everything to go back to how it was during the blip, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're the make America blip again party.
Right.
But like, why? Like, why was it better? Just because there was a lot less people? Traffic was better, easier? What? Like, was the economy better, or?
Possibly. I mean,
there was a lot more resources. A lot, you know, like obviously, obviously, if Sam had any money, he don't now, so it went somewhere.
Right. And you know, I mean, a lot of people are hurting now because of, you know, like in the first episode, well, you haven't been working for the past 5 years. Do you remember what happened in the past 5 years?
Yeah.
Like you can't penalize me for something that I had no control over.
Right. So the snappers, how you had the birthers and these are the snappers.
The boomers.
Yeah.
These are the snappers. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they want everything to go back to when. So do they worship Thanos basically? They don't. I mean, they don't really indicate that in the show at all. But I'm just. I wouldn't say
curious. That they worship him. I feel like they feel like he was right in a sense to.
Well, he wasn't wrong, but.
I mean, right. Because I mean, you see that in this episode that they're like stealing like, what is it, like medicine or stuff like that. I'm pretty sure having the blip made, what people take for granted more accessible for those who aren't able to get it.
Right.
So maybe that's why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
Could be. But who knows?
Like we said, scarcity.
Yeah.
Makes people do bad things. So Bucky and Sam are teaming up to basically, because Sam has, kind of got some ideas on who these people are, how they're operating. And then they find out that not only had they been investigating these people, but the new Captain America and his sidekick, I didn't catch his Battlestar. And neither of these guys have any powers. Like, is that going to be like the new norm for the Marvel universe? Is like everybody's like, I'll just put on a suit. That's cool.
Wait. So John Walker doesn't have any?
No,
he didn't take the super.
No, because he got his butt kicked. Now all those, because like all those people that we were just talking about that are the blip fighters, the snappers, they are super. They did take the serum. But no, I don't think John did, but he's able to use the shield and he's pretty badass with it for a little bit, and then he basically is about to get his butt kicked. And yeah. But
I might have missed that then, because I thought he had his powers, the super soldier serum.
Yeah, see, I don't think that maybe I'll watch it again, but I'm pretty sure that that came into play there, like at the end of that fight. That's why he couldn't continue. And so that's why he was saying, I've got to team up with these guys, because basically Sam, he's the Falcon, and then Winter Soldier is, he has the super strength and the cool arm that tears through everything. So, but they are real reluctant. They don't want to join up with this guy because he's not the real Captain America. And, he kind of comes off a little douchey too.
Yeah.
His friend kind of comes off as like, he's like trying to do the right thing, and save people and help people. But the John Walker guy seems a little prideful. Am I wrong? I kind of seems like I picked that up.
I kind of feel like in a way he kind of is.
Not at first.
Right. Because he does seem kind of humble at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then, I think it was the car ride after the fight sequence. Is where he kind of seemed a little bit douchier.
Well, because basically when they were like, nah, we don't need your help, he was like, well, you stay out of my way. Like, please, we can fly.
And I'm pretty sure we beat up aliens.
Yeah. Great scene though, where Red Wing is following around the Winter Soldier, and then it gets destroyed. And he's like, sorry about Red Wing. He's like, no, you're not. Like, no,
right.
No, I wasn't.
Well, because it's kind of funny too. Whenever she broke it, he was like, I wanted to do that. Or I always wanted to do that or something.
Yeah. There's a lot. I love, it's like as serious as those guys are, as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier can be. They really do have a lot of good humorous lines and stuff.
I did like the line where they see the freedom fighters or snappers, whatever you want to call them. And he was like, man, a few months in Wakanda and you come out as White Panther.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. What did he say though? Because he said his actual name was what?
It's White Wolf.
White Wolf, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then well, that was a big part of the story. They go to Baltimore and they meet up with a guy named Isaiah that the Winter Soldier knew, who was a super soldier himself. But he instead of becoming like Captain America, he ends up in prison. I can't remember how.
Yeah. I forgot the reason why he obviously said it in the film or in the show. But yeah, he was, once he got sent to jail, he was basically a lab rat.
Yeah.
And you know, like I kind of feel, you know, it goes back to the whole race thing.
Yeah.
And you kind of see it too after this whole scene in Isaiah Bradley's house. But we see here that he was the Black Captain America, and you know, that's what he's known as in the comics, Black Captain America.
Which there was a scene right before they get into the house that was hilarious, because the kid outside is like, "Hey, it's Black Falcon." And he's like, "Why am I Black Falcon? Because I'm black?" And he's like, "Yeah." Oh, and like also I think because he's like, "My uncle said you were Black Falcon," and he's like, "Well, does that make you Black Kid?" And the kid's like,
right.
You know, so that was a whole setup for like what you're talking about, because he was the Black Captain America.
Right. So, and you know, I thought that whole scene was that part that you just said was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
And then you know, going back to the whole race thing, we see that them after that scene, we go to they're arguing in the street, not knowing why the police were called to begin with, but they start messing with the Falcon.
Yeah, right away. Like, are you disturbing Winter Soldier? And I'm like, Winter Soldier could have probably ripped Falcon's arm off.
Right. And so with that being said, it's just like, you know, he doesn't have time. You know, Isaiah Bradley doesn't have time for, you know, what this white man has to say, because of what ended up happening after he kicked Winter Soldier's butt. He had to go to jail.
Yeah.
Because of whatever the reason was. But so it's nuts.
And that was the thing, is like, it was highlighting the fact that, you know, like, things are unequal. And some people will say, well, things are always going to be unequal. Okay, but things aren't always just either. And this was an example of injustice for a guy who, if he was white like Captain America, probably wouldn't have had to go through any of that.
Yeah.
So I like that is a point being made during the show, you know, and like you said, when he leaves and the whole thing, you know, with involving the Baltimore police, and that of itself is a big story all the time too. And it's just that was interesting, because like you said about the other, you know, the Snyder cut, but like this shows the human side of all this stuff. You know, it's not just action and humor, like while they're rolling around on top of each other. There's actual themes being, you know, shown in this show, like in episode 1 and in episode 2. So I mean, overall, so far, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier has me hooked. Episode 1 and 2, like just like WandaVision did. I can't wait. Even though WandaVision took me a few more episodes to really get into it. That's the great thing about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is that it is from the get-go. It's going to keep you entertained. Yeah.
I was going to say that the guy that's playing, you know, the Black Captain America, he was also in Supergirl.
Oh, was he?
He was Martian Manhunter's dad.
Oh, really?
That's cool. That's cool. So he's no stranger to superhero films and shows. So but you know, the funny thing is, in the Supergirl show, he didn't look buff at all. I'm pretty sure that might be, he might have had a bodysuit on underneath that shirt, because you kind of see that he was kind of, you know, bulky in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but obviously to make him look like he was a super soldier. So
right.
But
well, all I got to say is this episode, again, like towards the end of it, I was like, man, I know the end of this episode's got to be coming, because it's only like an hour or so, but I don't want this to end. Like, I want this to keep going.
Well, we have 4 episodes left.
Only 4?
Yeah.
There's 6 episodes.
Yeah, at
Oh
least
my
that's what
gosh.
IMDb says.
No
IMDb
way.
has been wrong
No.
before.
Yeah, they gotta be wrong. There's no way. It's gotta be at least 9 episodes.
Yeah, but I'm not. If that's true, I'm not. Disney has some explaining to do.
Yeah, that's
all I
not
gotta say.
enough. That is not enough. Because I know, and like we had discussed this, because Loki comes out, and then I can't remember. Somebody was saying that while Loki's like only in episode 2 or 3, that's when Black Widow comes out. So
Yeah,
those will be out at the same time, and then Doctor Strange is later in the year. So I don't know. I hope not, because like I say, that was episode 2, and like at the end it leaves you like, oh my gosh, I gotta have episode 3. It just makes me like, man, I wish they'd just let me binge watch all of them at the same time,
right.
instead of doing it weekly. But then again, it does kind of make it nice that you had something to look forward to every week. And I'm definitely looking forward to Falcon and the Winter Soldier every week.
Oh yeah. All
right, Cameo, you want to get into PandemPicks?
Yes, I do.
All right. So since we're all stuck at home watching the television, me and Cameo like to keep you informed in some of the latest of movies that we've been watching. I got a couple real quick that I'll give you. The Snyder cut in black and white, Justice is Gray. I didn't get through all of it since I've already seen it. I'm watching it in the, a couple chapters at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, man, like usually if you like, I like black and white movies. They don't bother me, but I don't really like it just if you're just going to do it just to look cool or whatever,
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder, man, he made this look really, really good. And like the thing about it is with the black and white, I feel like as opposed to color, it really directs your eye more to where like, you as a director or a storyteller wants us to be looking and focusing on. I feel like if you're doing it right, and Zack Snyder was doing it right, I mean, it still looks great.
I feel like the whole oh my goodness, I lost the word. I feel like the whole feel of it was portrayed better.
Yeah.
Like I like the fact that it is black and white. I also liked the fact that watching Logan in black and white was 1,000 times better than watching, it in its original color form.
Right. I still need to watch the Logan in black and white. I never have.
You do it. It's awesome.
Because I just watched Logan again for the millionth time the other day. But so I definitely got to watch that. Where is that?
If you bought the DVD, I think it came with there was like an option on it. But if you got it on Vudu, you also have that option.
I got it on Amazon. Do you have the DVD?
I think I do.
I might have to borrow it.
Okay.
All right. So, but yeah, so watch Justice is Gray. If you're, like, man, I already watched it. Watch it again. It's a great movie. I even went back and just watched the nightmare sequence the other day just for funsies,
I watched, I think it was Friday. I watched the black and white version or Justice is Gray.
Yeah.
So yeah, watch it again. I mean, you ain't got nothing better to do, right?
Like I go back and watch BBS. Like I'll just watch the warehouse scene sometimes,
That scene was awesome.
Yeah. Like they need to make the Snyder cut where Snyder needs to make the Snyder cut, but it's like an hour, but it's the best of like just the best scenes of all the movies. Mm-hmm. That'd be pretty cool. So, and then I watched this movie last night and I won't say that you should watch it necessarily, but I will say when it's available to watch for cheaper, you should watch it. Willy's Wonderland, starring Nicolas Cage. I
want to watch that so bad. But I also love Nicolas Cage though, so I might be biased.
It's pretty. It's stupid. It is so stupid, but like visually, it's entertaining. It's fun to watch, and if you don't mind it just being a stupid, goofy horror movie, then it's pretty good. Like Nicolas Cage. Oh my gosh, he's just crazy. He's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Like I watched Face Off the other day again for the first time, and I was like, dang, like that whole first opening sequence, he's like dressed like a priest and he's filling up some girl in the choir, and I'm like, that's terrible. But the way Nicolas Cage plays it, like, you know, it's like he's such a nut. So,
he is.
So yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was, but it is still, and I think he's trying to get rich off of us. It's still $20 to rent it on Amazon, but we got that stimulus money, so
that stimmy.
Yeah, we were like, Amazon, give me the $20 rentals. We don't care.
Right.
So yeah.
Did you see that part in SNL?
Which one?
Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh man, those songs they did too were great. Like the one about the pandemic, like the old people, getting the vaccinations. That was great. And then the one where Pete Davidson's doing his impression of like Eminem, like, and he's explaining.
Oh, I didn't see that one. I might have fell asleep.
The NFTs, yeah,
that's hilarious.
Pretty good. And of course, I love Maya Rudolph, so I like have a serious crush on her from back in the day when she was on there. So her hosting, I was like, yes,
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
No, but yes, that was another Saturday Night Live reference. So
Wayne's World.
Yeah, there you go. Which is what we basically are doing. We're doing a version of Wayne's World every week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah. So, okay, Cameo, you have some PandemPicks here as we take it home.
Yes. Yeah. This one isn't a nerdy film by any means. It is a serious film, I would say. The director is I don't know if I can say his or her name correctly. Cornell Mundruxo. I don't know, but it is an Oscar nominee. It's Pieces of a Woman. Shia LaBeouf is in it, and Vanessa Kirby. Vanessa Kirby is in the show The Crown. Yeah, and she was Jason Statham's sister in Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious spinoff film. Very good film. Me and the wife, we watched that the other day. So check that out. But also Invincible.
Yep.
We talked about it, that it was coming out a while back. Robert Kirkman, the writer, creator of The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. He's, this is his film or his show. 3 episodes are out already on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, check these first 3 episodes out. It made me go buy the compendium of Invincible.
Really?
So
really?
Yes.
Now is that I guess Robert Kirkman probably wrote that too?
Yes.
Okay.
Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker or Waller, and there's somebody else that's ahead of it. But
so how do you say Glenn's name? Steve Yeun?
Steve Yeun?
Yeah. He's the main character, right?
Yeah. Mark Grayson is his name. And he's the main character.
That's
yeah. But also too, Sandra Oh is in it from Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
She plays his mom.
His dad is he's in Spider-Man.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, Batman.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah. He's got a great so I won't spoil anything on this one. But I've only seen episode 1. And the end of episode 1 is redonkulous. So this, his character is super interesting to me. And then the
Omni-Man, J.J. Simmons.
Yeah. J.J. Simmons.
Yeah.
J.K.
Sorry. J.K. Sorry.
Yeah, J.K. Yeah. We're not just
kidding. It's J.K.
Yeah. But the whole dynamic is he's the son of a superhero, and so he's wanting to become one himself.
Right.
And it's just like I say, episode 1 is all I've seen so far, but I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what's going on because, like, again, we don't want to spoil this, but yeah, you just don't know what's going on at the moment, because you see at the end of episode 1 this crazy fight scene, and then at the end of did I say season 1?
Yeah, I don't know. You said episode 1, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so episode 1, you see a crazy fight scene. Episode 3, some characters were introduced, and it seems like it's not who they think they are. So yeah, it's just watch the show on Amazon Prime. Invincible is amazing.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. So I also give my stamp of approval on that. Yep. I think that brings us to the end of the show, Cameo.
All right.
Yeah. So it's been a great show. I've appreciated everybody watching on Facebook Live. Check us out on YouTube and all of our other spots. And of course, you want to go
hashtag Nerd Up.
Yeah. Go to patreon.com/dopepods. And Cameo, you got the saying to get us on out of here.
Keep it nerdy.
Smile and put on a happy face.
Wakanda forever!
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
That was awesome!
Freeze all motor functions.